Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, and today I'm going to show you a journal that I have for sale up in my shop on Etsy. My shop's name is Eclectic Junk Journals, and this is, I don't know what to call it. I'm just calling it a purple and yellow journal. This is a vintage book cover, and there was a little bit of damage here that I did not fix. It's all intact, nothing's coming off, and it's on the back. On the front, I have layered some painted paper with a little fabric and digital here from Took's Craft Table. And this is the inside cover, and it is a hidden spine so you don't see the strings. There are 3 signatures, about 200 pages. It is 5 1/4 inches long by 7 1/2 and a smidge tall, high, and it has a 2-inch spine. So I'm just gonna do a flip through real quick. I did most of these are on the jelly plate print. Jelly plate prints is what the painted papers are, and then there's some digitals and some book pages. And here I have a pocket on the side here with a tag and an envelope that I made, decorated on the front. I've just got some fun things that you can decorate the journal with. So there's just little cutouts from a book that I had, and then here's the tag here. Oops, and there's some, well, there's some more cutouts there. I'll pick that up and make sure I put it back in there. And there's help, I'll put that back down. Why can't I remember his name? All of a sudden I can't remember his name. This is from an antique book about butterflies. This is, I used some what are they called? This, anyway, just Mixed Media, just call it that little tag. This is a from the 50s Monopoly card from the 50s, and vintage book page. This is just used distress stains and distress oxides to do that. Digital from Roxy Creations, and the grid digital, I cannot remember who that's from, but that is another digital that I have. More vintage book page, more painted pages, some vintage music page. This is just sewn on there just to extend the page. This is not vintage book page. These are more recent from this flower book, but I just really love the pages. More vintage book page I painted on here so that you could journal on it. More journaling spots, a little bit. Then from a book we've got flower because I just love him. All right, now this one is a pocket with a tag, and this is a secret journaling spot. So you can journal in there, and also you can open it up and you have journaling space here and journaling space there. And here's a pocket with a tag and a little extra paper to play with, which hopefully I'll add some more little bits, but can't promise. More the jelly plate paper, whoops, vintage book page with irises. And the other side of that digital, and some inked page. There's a little picture there, fussy cut, and then this is just a little tuck spot. Got a tag to stick in there. It's backed with some avocado dyed paper and some painty paper there. More of the antique paper from a vintage little golden book. Another vintage flower book. More. This is digital from Took's Craft Table. I like to mix and match my digitals. This is from my Porch Prints, I believe, one of her Daisy kits. And then we have a flashcard and a mix. I've got the iris on there, and then that's inks that I used to create that card. So there's quite a bit of mixed media in this one, which makes it very unique, one of a kind. You will not find another one like this. Even if somebody copied all the pages, it still wouldn't have the texture and the feel. You can journal under here. This, I went ahead and made the pocket at the top so it's easier to get in and out. Ideally, it would be easier to get in and out, but there's that little fold down there that makes it a little bit tougher. Little straw paper from Italy. More digitals from Roxy Creations. It's a Tim Holtz stamp. This is not vintage book page, but I mean, look how pretty it is. Then we've got a pocket back here and a pocket here, and also another hidden journaling spot. Which in my last video I showed how to make those. Just some lined paper that's been, I think it was coffee dyed and you know, distress sprays. This is a little tuck spot here with some vintage book page. This digital comes from the Rambling Crafter. Has some stamping. No, not stamping. Stenciling. That's a stencil from Tim Holtz. Book page, vintage book page, I believe. Hair's free. And then I just did, this is a digital too. Of course, I cannot remember the stripes. This is called ticking. The ticking and the grids, I can't remember because they're a little more obscure. This is more stenciling. Antique. I have several. I think there's at least one of these in each signature of this antique butterfly page. More the vintage book bird page. This one that's not vintage but so pretty. I drew a tulip on there. See, unique. Not gonna find anything like that anywhere. Roxy Creations, straw paper, vintage book page. Whoops. Some stamping of the mushrooms, which I believe are Tim Holtz stamps. This is coloring book page that I inked just to give it more color and fun. More inking and excuse me, stamping, stenciling. Mixed media pages. Parchment paper that was coffee dyed. And we have a tag. It's painted on the back. Has some paint on the back. And another piece of that paper that you can play with. Oh, these papers come from, I believe they came from Antique Papery. And more mixed media here. A little stamp here, which of course is another Tim Holtz stamp. This one, it got a little crushed, but it's still cute. And then we have a envelope here, which is empty, but you can, you know, this is just a printout that had, it was, my ink was running out. It was purple, but I really liked it in here for this. Another coloring page that I inked, which I think gave it a lot of character. Another mixed media page. It's got some inking and some gesso and some stenciling. And let's see, yeah, that's the other side. Took's Craft Table digital. And this is just, you know, just a fun little page to be different. More of the vintage book page. I gessoed over here so you could actually journal on that page if you wanted to. This has got room for journaling. Kincaid, that's who those pages are from. I think it's a vintage book because, yeah, he passed away quite a while ago. This is not a vintage book either, but I mean, it's the something of roses. I don't know. It's got beautiful pages in it. Then there's an envelope that you can play with. You can glue it in as a pocket somewhere or just use it as an envelope. It's empty right now. I'll see if I can put stuff in those envelopes. Then there is some mixed media paper for you to play with to make your own tags or pockets or whatever you would like to do. And more of Roxy Creations, more straw paper. A little more stamping and stenciling and just mixed media paper, more vintage paper. This is a page from Gyo Fujikawa, one of my favorite illustrators. But the colors in there were just perfect. And so I made that in the center. Gessoed on this page so you could write on it, but still have the vintage book page. And then this just little fun page here. And a little tuck up there with another piece of painted paper that you can play with, make a tag or a pocket with. And More Thomas, that's his name. More Thomas. Look at. I just love how those look together. I really should probably take a picture of that to put in the Etsy thing, because that just looks so good. And I just sewed this side of the page because there was no picture, so that way you can journal on it, and they're just so beautiful. More of the antique paper, more of the painty paper, Twix craft table. Then we have a pocket here, and this is a pocket that you can put somewhere. And so it's got a pocket at the top and a tuck spot here. Just more stuff for you to play with. More index cards that have been inked and stamped and just different things. Just more stuff to play with. Yes, I did do some decorating, but I left plenty of places for the new owner to also decorate. And as you can see, there are a lot of pages just with that, so you could journal on there. Same here. And then more graph paper that was inked and stenciled. Vintage page, and we come to the end. So this will be up on my shop, Eclectic Junk Journals. And yeah, I hope it finds a good home for it. All right, have a delightful day, guys.